Good, beautiful morning, folks. I just saw those guys. It's funny. Well, today I thought we would go for a nice little ride up the canyon. Make it a bit of a longer video and do a little life update. Because I said I was going to, and it's been a long time, and this is going to be a bit of a longer video. And if you're here for talk about the bobber, talk about anything real motorcycle-y, this probably isn't going to be the video for you, so I will see you all later. But for those that want to stick around, want to see a nice ride and get to know me a little bit better, or get an update as to where I've been, what's been going on, since this channel has been around for quite a long time and it has been dormant for quite a long time, this video is going to be for you. So, to start off, my name is Will, if you don't already know that. I now live in Colorado. There were a couple videos I had made about 3 or 4 years ago after I had moved here, but I used to live in Wyoming. That was where I was born and raised, and that was where most of my Thruxton content was filmed. And I got out of there years ago and came down here to Colorado just because this is where I've always felt home. I used to live in Missouri for a little bit. That was before, easy buddy. And what's going on here? That was before Thruxton, and that was before a lot of this stuff. But how we got here was, when I moved here, I had a girlfriend, and I had quit a job that I thought I loved in Wyoming, but absolutely hated. There's a couple videos talking about my old boss and just how much I did not enjoy what I did. I'm a professional photographer, videographer, commercial drone pilot, and just kind of all around professional creative, you could say. Man, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? This canyon ride's going to be nice and fun. Real pretty. A little tight in the beginning of it, but going to go up and around and come out north of Fort Collins, if anybody knows this road. But yeah, I moved down here and I was thinking everything was going to change when I got here. And long story short is everything fell apart when I came down here. At first, anyway. I got down here, and about a year into living here, my girlfriend left me. And I was so depressed I nearly took my own life drinking before I started to climb back up and take my life more seriously. You know, a lot of these videos that I used to do, I kind of had an axe to grind or an agenda. I wanted to be some cool online personality, or, you know, have the allure of social media kind of pulling me in. And I was always trying too hard. I felt like I wasn't making these videos. I wasn't making it for me. I was making it for somebody, you know, emulating somebody I saw, copying them, just trying real hard. never really felt right. I never really felt right with myself. After everything fell apart, I remembered how much I enjoyed doing this, so I tried to get back into it on the Thruxton, and just it wasn't the same. So I was, again, trying too hard. I was trying to chase something, trying to chase a feeling, and an old desire that just died when everything fell apart. So a lot of those videos I kind of took down, I wasn't happy with, and that was something I didn't like. You know, I think one thing about social media that I have learned over the years in getting right with myself and enjoying what I do more is that you got to just make stuff for you and say fuck everybody else. You can't not be you, because it eventually all falls down. It eventually catches up with you when you are not being true to yourself. What do you want to live? Some life, you know, if something big does happen or something does come from it, you want to live a life where you're not being you every day. You know, you're not being that person that you wake up wanting to be. And I think that's just kind of what I've realized in my Instagram, where I got what I wanted. You know, I always said I wanted to have 1,000 followers and just like do all this cool stuff, and I did. I got my grand followers, and I got all the big accounts using my stuff that I thought I wanted, and it just wasn't for me. it made me even feel even worse than before, right? And yeah, I don't know. The long story short of what happened to the Thruxton was basically like I was living in a house after everything kind of fell apart that I didn't fucking want. It was this tiny little piece of junk house in Greeley, Colorado. That was an old college rental I had. What are we doing here, folks? Oh, we got a bunch of bikers. A lot of bikers. Interesting. I wonder what's going on here. Did you like that? I hit second and then went into neutral. In front of a bunch of bikers. That was great. We got one lane road ahead. It is Labor Day, so everybody's out, but whoa, got some water down here. What the hell happened right here specifically? It's all wet just right there. It's odd. I will say that is one thing about this bike I found. I don't know if it's the shift linkage or what. I might need to adjust it, but oh, I got the itch. I might need to adjust it slightly because, man, I catch neutral all the time in this bike. And, you know, it might just be because I'm a little bit lazy, get a little relaxed, whatever, but I catch neutral all the time, man. But yeah, what happened with the Thruxton was I was in this crappy house. I had to keep it in a shed, and it was just a huge pain to get it in and out. And like, there's this tiny little door, and I didn't want to leave it outside because like I couldn't leave that bike outside. Same thing with this. I can't leave this outside. I love this motorcycle. And I finally just got right with myself after 3 years of just kind of putting around, smoking a bunch of weed and drinking and just trying to feel better. I finally said fuck it and started really working on myself. Tore the house down to the studs, redid everything, new floors, new walls, new kitchen, new everything that I could. Caught the right wave on the real estate market and sold it and got out. Bought a brand new house in Loveland and 2-car garage. I mean, it's awesome. I love this house. First, I never thought I'd be able to buy a new home in my life, and I did. And I got there and I was like, yep, we're gonna do it, we're gonna keep going with it, and I started modifying it. And you know, I gotta be really careful here. I've heard tales of people washing out on these roads recently because of all the gravel. But I started modifying it and riding it more, and I did a video on it about the gearing of the Thruxton, and I just hated it. The gearing on it was brutal, and it was just not fun. I felt like you couldn't, I don't even know how to describe it. It felt like it was great for putting around the city, you know, riding around in the city, but anytime you wanted to do something like this or get out where you were about 50 miles an hour or more, the gearing felt off. And there's a lot of Thruxton owners and people who are very, very passionate about the bikes, and to be completely honest, I will probably own another one eventually. The ultimate plan is to have a little bit larger space with a shop or a 3-car garage, and be able to have at least one more bike, if not two. But that's down the road. But you can switch out the front sprocket, rear sprocket, what have you, and you can kind of make it better. But ultimately, it doesn't really change that it doesn't feel right to me, and I just didn't like it. Whereas this bike, and we'll talk about the gearing, you know, in a later video. This bike is worlds better. I mean, just worlds better. But I decided to sell it. I went on one final ride with it, and I decided to sell it. And I was pretty emotional when I was selling it too. It was a hard decision. I definitely kind of like choked up a little bit when I was getting rid of it. Took one last picture of it. It does have kind of a cool end to the story. I'll say that, spoiler alert. Excuse me. But I went and I had been like, okay, I want something with some more power then. I want something that people say is like, yeah, this is it, right? This is a bike that you can rip through the canyons, and it was just going to be like the ultimate riding experience. And that was when I bought my brand new 2021 Triumph Street Triple RS, because I stuck with Triumph. I still love Triumph. And god damn, that bike was terrifyingly fast to me. Some people love speed. Some people just love speed, getting on the side of the tire, driving like crazy, you know, riding it like just an absolute animal. Not me. It was fun, but it was not for me, because like, in order to, as we said in the previous, in order to enjoy it, you had to ride it like that all the time. Otherwise, it just felt like you weren't doing the bike justice. It was boring to ride it any other way, because you're just kind of in this like, you know, hunched kind of a little over riding position, and then like, what, you're gonna just use the quick shifter to go into second, you know, that's it. And it was like, no, you want to haul ass. But maybe it's a young man's game. It may just have not been for me, because I can do speed, but I'm almost a little bit too much of a rule follower sometimes. And I want to survive, you know. I see too many people, and I have a friend who died on a sport bike long time ago when I was a teenager. He died at 126 miles an hour. Nearly killed his girlfriend on the back. And I was like, you know, this is too much for me. And so I didn't ride it enough. I rode it a lot for the first year, and it was cool, but it was just like, you'd get in a canyon like this, and you didn't enjoy it. At least I didn't, because you had to ride it, you know, at the edge in order to have fun. Just you're just hauling ass down here, and this is fun like this. I enjoy this. It's got enough power. It feels really good in the corners. but I don't have to pay any more attention to it than I need to. And so I decided to get rid of it. After 2.5 years of owning it, I was like, well, I gotta get rid of it. And I was not emotional at all. There was no, oh man, did I make the right decision? I have to get rid of it. There was none of that. I was just like, get it going. I never looked back after I bought this. And you know, also in that time, I have met my current girlfriend and future wife. She has been amazing in helping me grow as a person, in being a better person, in helping me change just about everything about my life that I have wanted to change and just not been able to do to the degree that I wanted to. And I love her to death. I love everything about where I am now. I've got the coolest little dogs. I've got this motorcycle. I have her. I have my business. I have everything. And it's even gotten me back to this, right? To doing this, which is something that I missed. And something that, oh boy, I'm scratching my nose a little too hard there. Something I can't wait to do more of, and bring you guys along, because I just think it's beautiful. It's so much fun to me to just get on here and be able to talk, because I love to talk, and grow a small little community and just feel good about it, you know? We're gonna go around this guy when we get here and just have fun, because I love the outdoors. I love all this shit. What are we doing? I do. It's neat. We've got so many cool places to go, and to be able to take you guys with me and feel good about it, you know, not feel weird about what I'm doing, or just to have the self-confidence to be like, yeah, this is cool. This is what I want to do. And be proud of it and be excited again is really neat. All right. We get a chance to go past this car. It's kind of windy here, so it's a little bit tough. This is like one of the other things that was tough about having the street triple, was like you'd get this and it was just like you felt so hamstrung on that bike, because it was like, well, what do I do now? There should be a bit up here where I can get by. Here we go. Anyway, I say I'm a rule follower and then I go across the double yellow, but my God, man. Alright, so this is the canyon. I think that's all the life stuff right now. You know, if I need to do another one, I will, but we're all kind of caught up, you know. It's been a number of years, and I don't know, I've kind of just gotten back into doing this and wanting to do it and feeling like I can and all that good stuff. I've seen so much dumb motorcycle content on TikTok too. I don't know what it is, if it's just like a bunch of new riders or if it's just trying to capitalize on something. I don't know, like I just see so many people just being like doing illegal shit on TikTok with like speeding like 150 miles an hour. There's this weird like sport bike kind of unspoken rule that people are always just like, oh man, gotta hold my license plate so that like in case I gotta run from the cops, or like they'll hear sirens like, oh, was that me for my 120 pull? And it's like, who are you trying to impress, man? Like, you're on a public road. There could be somebody walking out on there. You could kill yourself, kill somebody else. Like, pay for track time, man. Especially like, if your first bike, you went out and you bought like a Yamaha R1 and you're just like ripping around trying to come up with ways in which the cops can't figure out who you are because of how much you're speeding. Like, oh my gosh, man, the Aspens are already gone. Look at this. It's September 1st, no, 3rd, September 3rd today. And the Aspens are already gone. Huh. I would have expected there to be a little bit more of a color change. It looks like fall, also feels like fall up here. It's chilly. Oh, it smells like it too. Oh yeah, that really like fall kind of like leaf smell. Oh wow, man. Whee! I always don't like these corners. That was another thing about the sport bike that always bugged me, was these corners. They were just always just covered in rock and sand and silt and just, oh man, it was rough. And there's all these blind corners here, and just like we had so much water this year that it just, some of these low areas just got covered in dirt, and it was just brutal. Oh man, I said how chilly it was. Boy, is it warm right there. Look at that though. Oh man. I love that. Oh, so pretty. Wrist Canyon, I believe. I've lived here for 7 years. And it's funny, I know landmarks more than I know the names of things, but I think this is Wrist Canyon. Fairly certain. I know it's not Poudre Canyon. That goes to Estes, which we will do. Maybe we'll do that before the end of the year. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, here's the 1-lane road. 2-minute wait. Oh yeah, because they're working on the side of the road. Oh, here we go. That was easy. I'm surprised too, there's not a whole lot of people here, which is really nice. Buckhorn. Beautiful cabins. There we go. Some guys. Little like enduro adventure bikes. And a lot of these corners do that, where you come up to them and then they turn on you. Man. Enjoy the sound though. You know, one thing about this, I gotta figure out, this is all beat up, and I don't know why. I don't know what the previous owner did to this, but it's like all scuffed and scratched. I gotta figure out if there's anything I can do. Probably not, but it's annoying. I know you can get like a new bezel for it, so I'm wondering if like I can just do that. Just, doesn't come off, at least not while I'm riding. This is why I like motorcycling. This, you know, I miss this on the street triple. Just riding along, nice vibe. Cruising, man. It's so funny too, because I did not think that this is what I wanted. And having that super powerful street triple, even though I know there's always going to be somebody that comes, it doesn't have that much power. It had a lot of power to me, man. Coming from a 900cc Triumph Parallel Twin that had like maybe 65 horsepower, 50 pound-feet of torque on a good day, to that. That was a lot of power. 123 horsepower. Whew. A little over a 12.5 red line. Oh man, It was crazy. I gotta be honest though, like, this bike does not feel underpowered at any point, and even though like the lean-in angle is a lot less, I'll say that, it's still fun. It's still so much fun to be able to just glide around a corner in what feels like an armchair. Oh, cattle guard. Oh man, those front shocks. We're gonna have to change that spring. Those springs in those. Those are bad. Oh, what a beautiful morning for this. So far, I've only encountered one car, which is nice. It is only 9:15, so. I don't think I have had like a good day off like this where I just don't have anything planned in a long time. We're gonna have another cattle guard and a sweeping left turn here. I've done that house. The house is cool. I do like the kind of homes up here. They're real neat. Man, dude, I just love how this bike feels in the corners. It's got such a confidence about it. It's just so easy. It's just like gliding. I just enjoy it so much more than just like having that crazy speed and just feeling on a bike like I gotta do it. I need to just like fucking race around and fucking drive like a jackass, you know? I'll fly through the gears here. It's just so much nicer. If this guy turns, we'll probably pull over here just so we can maybe turn off the video. I don't know. Ooh, bump. He's probably going to. No, he's not. All right. Well, we'll just keep her going. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Turkeys. Hi guys. Always gotta watch for animals up here. Always gotta watch. You know, one thing I've never actually ridden is a fully fared sport bike, like a leader bike. I've sat on a few of them, but it's just like it really goes to show you that you need to try a bunch of different bikes. You gotta find the right one that fits you, because my dad's bike, his old V-Star, like 11 or 1200 V-Star, whatever it was, with just the like big old highway pegs and the crazy saddlebags and the huge steering wheel, could you imagine? The huge handlebars, just, gosh, it wasn't for me, man. I hated that thing. Riding it was just like, hate's a strong word, but riding it was just not for me, man. Some guys here. It's like, I don't know what the back one was. It's got some crazy green lights on it. But that thing was just not fun. But I mean, this is just so nice. All right, this is where I could wash out real bad. I do not like these curves. They're like so sharp. Yeah. I see too many videos of people just like washing out in the canyon here, coming around a corner and just plowing into the back of a Subaru that's stopped or something, you know. Plus we've got all these cyclists. This is when your brakes come in handy. Whoa, there's a peg. Oh man. Yep, there's a peg. Not used to that yet, but it feels so weird when you drag a peg. Oh man, you did that on the street triple and you were in trouble. See, and then this is the other reason too. You got people running, right? And so like you got this lady running here, and then like you could have somebody coming up and come over into your lane, and you can be flying down this thing and just plow into them, you know. And I just riding like that freaked me out. But if I could, and I say this a bit too in my other video, I kind of felt like an imposter on the sport bike because I never could fully commit to being a hoon. I could never fully commit to driving, you know, crazy, like there were no rules that applied to me. Because there was always this little voice in the back of my head just like, nah, let's not do that. That sounds like a bad idea. That, you know, and you know, maybe that's what's kept me safe. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. Call it whatever you want, but I like to ride how I ride. This is everything, man. It's so relaxing, it's so comfortable, it's so much fun. And had I not gone and test rode it, had I not done a lot of research on it, had I not had videos like this of people riding them and talking about them, I don't know if I would have made this decision, you know? When it came to Indian, it was something that like I didn't want a Harley. The only Harley I ever like looked at was an Iron 883. And there was like a guy here on YouTube, I don't know, I'm gonna get your name wrong, Sean Smoke? Smoke? I don't know. He's up in the Pacific Northwest. And I always loved watching his Iron 883 videos and just watching him ride and talk. That's all he did. And it was great. And I just thought that little iron was like the coolest thing, right? Like it was just this cool little Harley. But my dad, who had a lot of Harleys, was very like, I would not buy a Harley. Get a Japanese bike if you want to get something, because they're just more reliable, they're not as heavy, they will feel like a better investment, and they're not going to cost as much for the Harley name. And I had a co-worker who her husband is a big time Harley rider. He's got a Glide, I believe. I don't really know my Harleys that well. He goes up to Sturgis and excuse me, and his big old bike, no way, it's just not for me. But this bike strikes the perfect balance because it's still cruisery. It's got such a beautiful sound, but the power is there. And this thing, when I say this thing is so well balanced, I thought coming from my street triple, which feels like a you're riding a bicycle, because it's so lightweight, it's balanced so well, it feels so agile that this would be just such a downgrade, and I would miss it so much. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't. I miss the lean angle, for sure. I miss being able to set it over a lot more, but like, we're talking, where this scrapes the peg is, I think it's like 29 degrees? Somewhere around there. And it gets right to where it starts to get like, all right, now we're leaning over, like that zone of like, okay, now I feel like I'm leaned over. Just right as you're starting to get into that is where this hits a peg. And I think that's probably for the best. But like, agility wise, this bike is perfect. It is so well balanced and so low to the ground. You could, like, I've never had a bike be this easy to move around. It never feels like it wants to fall over. And the power that this thing has is perfect. I have not ridden the 60, and I specifically did not get a 60 bobber because of the power. You'll excuse me for yawning. I did not get as much sleep last night because I was up late playing Tarkov. I'm also a gamer. But the 60 is smaller than this. It's 900 and some cc's, I believe, 999. And this is 1133 or 1200. So I've got this one because it does have quite a bit more power, which is what I wanted. Oh man, I have an itch that I don't think I can get. No, I can't. Oh, wait, hang on. We got it. Oh. Whoop. We're hitting the GoPro. Sorry about that. This guy on his bike's probably like, what is that dude doing? See, this is the other thing you gotta be careful of. Cyclists. They are all over in the canyon. Especially on a day like today, where it's beautiful, it's nice, it's not hot, but it's getting warm. This is when you gotta watch out. They're all over the place. Now, they're gonna be coming up from oh boy, moving my thing. Sorry about putting my finger in front of it. I'm trying to like adjust it. See, so that's the other thing, like, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're gonna be getting a new helmet. I also mounted this thing a little too far up and my visor hits it when I open it if I'm not careful, and then I think some of the wind force has kind of cocked it back a bit, so. But I don't know, I'm thinking about mounting it up on my handlebars here, is what I'm thinking about doing. We're coming up on somebody here. Ooh, I smell a wood burning fireplace. Car. Yeah, I'm thinking about mounting it up on my handlebars here. What I might do is see if I can find like a mount that would go, oh, that's a great idea. I already know what I'm talking about. I'm thinking about too many things, not paying attention to the road. I know of a ball mount that you can get, it's called like ram mounts or something, that you can put a bolt through and screw it. I bet I could figure out what this is and thread it into here and just have the GoPro like right here. Oh man. That's great. Ideas are flowing. We love to see it. Watch out for this gentleman. Yeah, this was our good ride through the canyon. We're going to be coming out of it here shortly and pull over and I'll click us off. But I want to thanks. Oh my gosh. Ooh. I want to thank all of you who have stuck around, those of you who are new here, who have come, who have commented, who have followed, who enjoy motorcycles, who just enjoy life and have found me through whatever means that is. I'm grateful for every one of you. I know that my Thruxton was such a wild ride in terms of the kindness a lot of people showed in the community that followed it, and the people that I followed and found through doing these YouTube videos and just riding. And so I hope to see more of that, and I hope to curate, you know, whatever small community comes from it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. And I just want to say thanks before I go off on another tangent and forget, but it's a bit of a longer video, but I don't know, you know, I'm somebody that, like, I love to watch long form video content. I have so many motovloggers, I'll just throw them on and listen to them talk, just watch. And plus this bike sounds so dope, so you know, there's that soundtrack. Gosh, what a beautiful day though. B-E-A, beautiful day. Thank you, Mr. Carey, for always reminding me on how to spell that word. You know, I've always thought about someday hoping that, you know, maybe I'll be privileged enough in life to have a cabin or something, kind of like up here. Not here maybe, but just, you know, something out of town. But I'm also too much of a kid of the internet. And I just, you know, I need to have my internet connection to play my games and to whatever. But as a photographer, I think it'd be super cool. You know, just be able to let life pass you by and just sit and relax in nature and let it come to you rather than you having to go to it all the time. See, this canyon, man, this is like a good lesson for new riders. Because there's so many obstacles and so many things that could happen. And just how you want to lean into stuff and take corners and take it nice and slow, and how hitting the brakes at the wrong time. I saw somebody on TikTok the other day have like a video explaining on what loading the brakes is like, you know, because a lot of people will tell you don't ride your brakes through a corner, and that is partially true, right? Because I can come into a corner, that's the clutch, with my brake and then like trail it off. Because it's the way in which your suspension loads, right? Because when you grab your brake, it throws you forward and puts the weight down on the suspension. And a lot of people will let off of it completely, and they'll pull the suspension up and take the compression off of it as you're coming through the corner, which can be dangerous because it can unsettle you. And he was showing like what his suspension does when he does that versus what you do when you trail brake. And it was the coolest like way I've ever seen somebody explain that, because it's such a hard concept to grasp. It's like the same thing, and I'm going to try and do some videos on it. I've seen people being like, I don't understand what people say when you want to turn left, you want to push right. And it's like, well, yes and no, right? It's not counter steering, but they'll teach you, and I thought it was really counterintuitive when I took my motorcycle safety course, right? Because they're like, you're gonna be like, when you're turning, you're gonna wanna, if you wanna go left, or if you wanna go right, you're gonna wanna turn like you're going left, right? You're gonna wanna pull and push. And that is true. If you want to go right, you're going to act like you are turning that way, because you'll inherently push on the handlebars and it will make you go, but you basically just push where you want to go on the handlebars, right? Like if I want to turn left here, I'm just going to push on this handlebar with my left hand, like I'm taking my right off, see how it goes? And then on this one, if I want to turn right, I push with my right and I go that way. The idea that it's like turning is, I think, incorrect inherently. Woo, skunk. Because, like, watch, when we get to a straight here, I'll show you what I think it puts the wrong idea in people's head. Because, like, see what happens when you start turning? It starts wiggling. The bike wiggles. And if you're a new rider and you're like, well, I'm trying to turn, you're gonna, like, jack with your bike. Like, see how it wiggles? Like, it just is unsettling to do that. And that's what happens when you're trying to turn it. But it's just, you push where you want to go. Push right, push left. Push right, push left. Just push. And you go that way. And I've just seen a lot of TikTok content for new riders about that, and it just makes it more and more confusing. And I hate that part of learning to ride a motorcycle. That was always bugging me. So we'll make some content on that. But see, here's something else you gotta watch out for: people running, right? I'll tell you what, I wish I was that athletic. I hate running. It is not something I enjoy doing. No, thank you. All right, guys. Ooh, look at that. Nice and full. That was our canyon. We're now out, and I gotta cut this video off before it goes on too much longer because only a few people will make it to this part. So if you had, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming along with me. Stick around for some more content. That's all. I'm not gonna do anything else. I think we're past the like and subscribe part of this. You'll do it if you want to, but I appreciate every one of you, and I thank you guys for sticking around and making it around this corner here, and we'll see you guys next time. What are we doing here? Oh my gosh, filling up a lawnmower. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.